Ok, donc nous allons démarrer ce webinaire. So we shall start our webinar dedicated to a presentation of the Science and Engineering International Program of Institut Polytechnique de Paris. So Institut Polytechnique de Paris gathers 5 top-level schools of advanced science and technology. For nearly 300 years, École Polytechnique, ENSTA Paris, ENSAE Paris, Télécom Paris, and Télécom Sud Paris have been training highly skilled engineers recognized for their accomplishments and inspiring leadership. Today, we offer you the opportunity to join our schools and to earn a graduate engineer degree from a French top-ranked School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. So the campus of Institut Polytechnique de Paris is a very modern and green campus located 30 minutes away from Paris city center. It is an amazing place to study and live with all the schools on the campus. And also it's an amazing place to innovate and to do research with a lot of public and private research and development centers located on the very same campus. Institut Polytechnique de Paris provides the highest standard of education. We believe in talent and tenacity, and therefore we are recruiting the best and the most promising women and men to study in our schools. So, as I said previously, the Institut Polytechnique de Paris was created in 1741, and recently it has been awarded top 50 according to the QS ranking among world universities, and it is ranked as the second best university in France. According to Shanghai World Ranking, Institut Polytechnique de Paris is ranked 37th in math, 28th in physics, and 42nd in statistics worldwide. One key feature is also the very high degree of employability of our graduates, and for that reason, Institut Polytechnique de Paris has been ranked top 15 worldwide for employer reputation of its graduates. The average salary per year is around 50,000 euros, which is rather pretty high on the employment market for the first salary after graduation. Altogether, we have more than 7,500 students, and we plan to increase this number of students to 10,000 students. We have a very multidisciplinary curriculum with more than 150 faculty members and 30% international faculty members, and we have to say 40% international students on all our programs. We offer our students a curriculum of renowned excellence, and in order for them to reach their full potential. And as you can see, most of the scientific disciplines of engineering and applied sciences are present at Institut Polytechnique de Paris in one or several schools at the same time. In terms of research and innovation, we are dedicated to advancing science and technological challenges, whatever the research and innovation areas such as clean energy and climate change, or artificial intelligence and data science, or cybersecurity, smart system or transport. This is all about finding solutions to major economic and societal challenges. So overall, Institut Polytechnique de Paris has 30 laboratories. We are among the top 8 innovation clusters in the world, with world-class research facilities, and as a leader in world-class research activities. We have more than 900 PhD students. Most of the scientific disciplines are represented at Institut Polytechnique de Paris. We conduct cross-disciplinary research. There is also a key feature that is a very close collaboration with companies and a very high level of entrepreneurship. So to give you an overview of the education given at Institut Polytechnique de Paris, you can see that it is possible to study in at the bachelor level or at master level, PhD level. We also have executive education. And of course, and that's the topic of today's presentation, we have the cycle d'ingénieur, so the diplôme d'ingénieur, which is a diploma shared by all our 5 schools. Claude? We can't hear you. You are muted.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So today we are focusing on the diplôme d'ingénieur. So to give you a few characteristics of the engineering school in France, what we call titre d'ingénieur, this engineering degree, confers the European degree of master, which is recognized worldwide. This implies a selection of students, which is based on their academic levels. And one of the main characteristics of this engineering curriculum in France is that it confers a multidisciplinary education, if you compare it to a master degree, for instance. This multidisciplinary education focuses on different things, on fundamental sciences, like mathematics or physics, chemistry as well on engineering sciences, but also on economics, as well on business management, innovation or entrepreneurship. And through this engineering curriculum, you will also it will enable you to develop your soft skills like communication, critical thinking, social environment, and to work also on international skills. Languages, of course, are a major part of this curriculum, geopolitics, mobilities as well. Usually, the engineering schools have a strong interaction with companies, including several opportunities of internship. But you need to know that internship are mandatory in the engineering curriculum. It also allows a personalized curriculum. For example, we have a very good ratio in terms of number of students for a teacher. For instance, there's 1 teacher for 5 students, which is a very good ratio. The French engineering schools host research laboratories associated to doctoral schools, and they are also compatible with PhD tracks. Thank you. So here you can see approximately how this higher education system work in France. So in France, we have what we call classe préparatoire. Usually, the students enter into an engineering school after, let's say, 2 years of classe préparatoire, of preparatory classes, or after obtaining a bachelor degree. These French students will enter in the first engineering year. The engineering curriculum is made of 3 years. And after a national exam, they will enter the first year of the engineering curriculum. In your situation as international students, you will need to obtain first a bachelor degree. So you can apply during this last bachelor year in order to enter directly in the second year of the program. So you will perform in France 2 years, which is the second year of the engineering curriculum and the final and third year of the engineering curriculum. This is why the second year of the engineering curriculum is at a master level. This is why you need to, before arriving in France, to obtain this bachelor degree that will enable you to pursue your studies in France in the second year of the engineering curriculum, which is the equivalent of a master degree. Next slide. Now we're going to see the requirements. So as I was just telling you, we usually admit students which are doing their undergraduate studies. So you need to be on your ongoing undergraduate studies in science or engineering. You need also to have an excellent background in mathematics, physics, and engineering sciences. French or English proficiency are required, not necessarily both languages, but at least one of them. Global awareness are also required. And for École Polytechnique, which is one of the 5 engineering schools belonging to the Institut Polytechnique de Paris, we have special legal requirements, like you have to be under 25 years old to be able to be admitted and to be able to apply. So let's focus on the international admission process, which are already open for application. So just to make sure that everything is clear, we have one selection process, one examination for 5 diplôme d'ingénieur programs for 5 schools. So you're going to apply once, and the results that you're going to get are going to be used by 5 engineering schools, and you can be admitted in one of them, 2 of them, or all of them. First, you need to apply online on the Institut Polytechnique de Paris website. The application is already open, so you can already do that online. It was open on mid-May, and it will be running until September 15th. So you can apply until September 15th. And this this online application will be valid for the 5 programs, the 5 engineering schools. Then we will shortlist the applicants by program through general selections based on the application file. And beginning of October, more exactly on October 8, we will give every applicants our notification of eligibility. We will declare for which engineering schools you are eligible. Then at the end of November, so end of October to beginning of November, you will go through oral examinations that we will just see afterwards, see what it consists of. Then mid-November, you will need to give your online declaration of an ordered wish of schools from the list of schools for which you are eligible. So you will shortlist the schools that you want to apply. You will have a 3 choice of schools, and you will receive your final acceptance from one school. Could be your first choice if you have been admitted to your first choice, or maybe second or third choice, on November 22nd. The reception of acceptance letters, admission letters, will be sent by the schools directly at the end of the year or beginning of next year. So from December to March 2020 and 22. And then the term begins in more than a year on September 2022. Okay, so next slide. So let's just focus here on the oral examination. So you need to remember one important thing. All these oral exams will take place online, of course, and on the same day. These oral examinations will consist of scientific examinations as well as motivations examinations as well, and oral, to make sure that that you have the right motivations. You can see that according to the engineering schools, they will not require the same necessarily the same orals exams. For instance, and the school ENSAI will not require an oral examination in physics. But for the other scientific ground, mathematics, general scientific knowledge, all the schools are requiring these oral examinations. You can see some syllabus and examples available on the Institut Polytechnique de Paris website under the section Program of Engineering, Ingénieur Programme. This as well on the website, you can see again the agenda, the calendar that I showed you previously. This is as well available with all the deadlines. Tuition fees. So again, the tuition fees can be different according to one school to another. For you who are following this webinar, you are under the price paid by European students, which is actually the same price as French students. You have to know as well that some grants or scholarship can also be granted. So either by the schools themselves, which can enable you to get some scholarship or to get some reduction of your tuition fees. So for each program, you will need to see directly with the school concerned. Usually these scholarships are based on excellence or also social criteria. And they can be very different from one school to another. So the best is to really check on every school's website or to contact every school directly. You have also other scholarship programs which can be granted. So from the French side, for instance, you will maybe hear of the EFL scholarship program. This is a scholarship that the school will decide to apply for you. So you won't be able to apply directly for the EFL program. This has to be decided from the school who will admit you, and the school may decide or not to present your file for this EFL scholarship. The EFL scholarship programs usually is done in December, January. So we apply at that time of the year, and you receive the results around March. But there can be also some other French scholarship granted by the French embassies of your country, for instance. So we strongly recommend you to check as well with the French embassy in your country to see if a scholarship program exists or not. And of course, you can also check what kind of scholarship exists from your country, because you could get also some scholarship for mobility abroad from other organizations in your country.
So don't hesitate to check also the webpage of your Campus France representative office, because they are aware of these different kind of scholarship you should apply in parallel to the EFL Excellence Scholarship, of course.
Okay. Next slide. So here we wanted to give you a few examples of the alumni that did graduate from one of our 5 schools. So for instance, I will mention Michal Klotika, who graduated from École Polytechnique and who is now the Minister for Climate and Environment in Poland. But you can see that we have also, of course, representative and people from the top management of big companies like Tesla, like Dassault Aviation, which is one of the biggest companies in France. We can mention also Christoph Kozlowski, who is as well the CEO of TVN, which is a main TV group in Poland. Or Charlotte Denery from a big banking group as well. And yeah, there's a few other alumni that we wanted to show you. For instance, Ana Maria Megelea, who had quite a great working experiences because she graduated from École Polytechnique in 2005. She comes from Romania, and actually after some time spent for working for the big luxury group LVMH and Peugeot, she has launched a startup in digital education resources for children. So wanted to show you this nice example of what some of our alumni are currently doing. And you can see
the idea. Yeah. Oh, pardon.
Yeah, Sebastian, go ahead.
The idea is really to show you the diversity of profiles that our alumni can have, so that you can see that with quite recent alumni, so that just from 2017, they already have a pretty nice career in different companies, whatever it is in France or abroad. And maybe to conclude, here you will find all the information about the international admission process on the website of Institut Polytechnique de Paris. You can also directly send your questions by email, and we will try to do our best in order to answer you and help you to complete your application. And you can find us on social media, of course. And I hope that we helped you to understand a little bit better who we are and the kind of curriculum we propose in the 5 engineering school of Institut Polytechnique de Paris. So now, if there are some questions, we are ready with Claude to answer you. So you can use the Q&A box or the discussion box, and we will do our best to answer you.
Or even speak if you want, if you prefer.
Yes.
Asking your questions directly. Of course, there's no problem.
So yes, may I ask in French? Yes, you can ask in French and we will manage.
We can translate in English if it's yeah, to share information.
So there is a question also, can I send the presentation? Yes, we will. We can send you the presentation for Kiev Polytechnic Institute. Okay. I don't see the question in French that should have been asked.
No, I don't see it neither. Maybe some of you have, usually we actually get some questions about the accommodation. So in case some can be interested in knowing how this is managed. The accommodation, once of course the students are admitted, every school has their own mean of accommodation, so they can find you solutions to find a student housing. Some schools will have their own accommodation in their campus, which is the case, for instance, of ENSTA, École Polytechnique. And for the rest of the schools, we actually work very closely with other student housing, which can be private or public, which can be very close to Institut Polytechnique de Paris campus, in the campus itself, or outside of the campus, for example, in Paris itself. So we will also help you, and we have some teams dedicated to that, to help you in finding your accommodation in case the school you have been admitted does not have their own accommodation. There was a website, a question. Pour les examens oraux, comment cela se passe-t-il exactement? Je ne pense pas pouvoir réussir à bien expliquer seulement. Oralement, aurais-je besoin d'un tableau blanc ou quelque chose du genre? This is a good question. I'm not completely sure of this. Sébastien, do you have any idea for oral examinations?
I'm not sure. I know it works online. So then I don't know how exactly the interviewer deals with the question that can be asked. I really can't help you for that. Maybe if you send us your email address, we can then after the webinar send you the description of how the interview is conducted by the examinator. There is a question: does application open for all students from camp, such as in Cambodia? The answer is yes. The answer is that yes, the recruitment is open worldwide, meaning that you can apply from any country in the world. There will be some future webinars organized, for example, for South America or for Asia soon. So I would recommend you to check on the IP Paris social media, so that you can check when the Asia webinar will be organized. But yes, you can totally apply. There is also a question about how is it possible to have a double degree with Institut Polytechnique de Paris? Is it possible in general? So the answer is yes. If your university, home university, has a partnership with one of the schools of Institut Polytechnique de Paris, it is possible in this case to apply to our schools in a bit different manner, because in this case you will not have to follow the oral examinations, at least for ENSTA, for Télécom Sud Paris, for Télécom Paris, and for ENSAE, because in this case you will have just to be nominated by the partner in the institution. But in case of École Polytechnique, you will have to follow the normal process. So let's say that for students studying in partner institutions, there is a kind of fast track to access schools of Institut Polytechnique de Paris.
What we recommend, if actually you have a doubt, is to simply go and check with the International Relations Office within your university to see if your university has a partnership with one of these schools, and to give you the right process of application.
anyway, for students coming from partner institutions, it is written on the website of Institut Polytechnique de Paris and on the admission portal, where you can find institutions, information about the recruitment from double degree diploma partners.
We have another question. I just want to have a confirmation if this is truly open for Tunisian students or not. Yes, exactly the same thing. Yes, every student worldwide can apply. If you are currently studying in one school in Tunisia, we recommend you to first make sure that your school doesn't have a partnership with your school of interest. Because according to this, the application process can be a bit different. So
and
first,
the same,
make sure
this process is not open for foreign students studying in a French institution, in a French higher education institution. So anyway, really do not hesitate to check the website, to check the admission portal, and to ask directly your questions through the email address of the engineer admission recruitment process, and we'll be very happy to help you and answer your questions. A little bit later on the YouTube channel of Institut Polytechnique de Paris, you will be also able to see the replay of this webinar and find all the information of the content of our presentation.
a person wanted to send us his or her email address. Yeah, you can type it if you want. And yes.
Yes, it will not be visible by the other people or on the recording.
Any other question? We also frequently have questions regarding languages. Because some of you may wonder if they really need to speak French or English. So just note that one language is at least required. If you speak English and French, this is even better, of course. But if you speak only English or only French, of course, you can apply in your language. For the studies, the schools have, of course, different curriculum, but curriculum that can be available only in English or only in French, or partially in English, partially in French. So you will have a choice at the end. So no problem for students who speak only English, for instance. And if you speak a little bit French, but you might not have right now the sufficient level of French, you will have anyway 1 year to also improve your French and start and continue learning the language to maybe access the minimum level required, which is usually, so it can be again different according to the school, but B1 or B2 level in one of the language to follow a course in English or in French.
So in case there is no other question, we will finish our webinar right now. Thank you for attending this webinar, and don't forget the email address of our international admission process, and we will be glad to answer all your further questions. Goodbye and see you soon at Institut Polytechnique de Paris.
Thank you, everyone.